Hi, I'm Kristen Burt with soaps.com. Lacey, it is good to see you again.
So nice to see you again. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I was in person last year, a little virtual this
Yes.
year.
Yes. Good to see you either way.
Either way, exactly. And
Yes, both ways.
I want to know if this is me or just you or both of us, how you're feeling about this. But watching Celebration season two, I know that season one was that heartwarming tearjerker. I felt even more emotional about this season in watching it. I just felt really like I was sobbing at the end of every episode.
Yeah, I did too. In real life, I cried at every single episode. There were so many different moments that touched my heart, and I don't know which episodes you saw, but I can guarantee you there are so many poignant moments. We have a beautiful vow renewal. We were able to surprise a couple of our heroes with family members and have them flown in. We had friends join. Jason Mraz is a friend of our incredible hero, Jesse. So he came to a celebration and was so supportive. My friend Kimberly J. Brown jumped in and helped out. There were so many fun surprises. And there's also a lot of laughs in this season. The party planning, we kicked it up a notch, I feel like, even, but made sure that the celebrations that Lisa and Marissa created also had elements that our viewers can hopefully recreate for themselves at home if they want to. It's just I love the show so much because it is the heartwarming, inspiring element. It's also the super fun party planning side. So it's a little bit of everything.
I'm curious too, because you're mentioning some of the elements that you added. What were the creative shifts that you decided to make for season two after watching and experiencing season one?
Um, we really wanted our heroes to be vocal about their own stories. So in season two, we get to hear our heroes narrate their own stories and tell us a bit more about their lives and how their organizations came to be. And I think that's really impactful and powerful. And we also get to check in with our heroes after the celebration and after Hallmark has given the $10,000 donation. And it's really wonderful to hear how the financial part was useful to their organization and hear what their plans are for the future. And we will continue to champion and root for these organizations and heroes.
That was probably my favorite new element was what happened after, everything, the money was given. Where did
Yes.
it go? And I'm someone who watches a lot of documentaries. And I'm always like, what is the follow-up? I'm always the person to
Yes.
deep dive. So thank you for doing that. It was wonderful.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm also curious because you're someone who's so closely tied to scripted storytelling through Hallmark and your other work. How has working in unscripted, especially where it's a celebration too, really deepened your perspective on real life storytelling?
Oh my gosh. Well, we have a unique opportunity with this because we get to bring the things that are most important, the values that are most important for the movies, such as hope, connection, friendship, love. We get to bring all of that to life in a real way and find those real life versions of these stories. And I felt like Celebrations is a Hallmark movie come to life. And it was so interesting, the stories that we uncovered as we learned more about our heroes. And there were so many, for lack of another way of saying it, Hallmark moments that happened organically in the filming of this show. And so I think what it is that people love the most about the movies, those same values are present in the unscripted.
I love that you mentioned organically because I feel like there's a lot of organic things going on in your career right now, where you have celebrations, which is an extension of your work at Hallmark. You have the Lacey Chabert collection. They all seem to very nicely tie in together. Was this by design or did this come together all on its own?
I feel like it's a little bit of both. I think, I don't know, I think things happen in life when they're meant to, and they all fall into place when they're meant to. And obviously, I'm very thankful to Hallmark for giving me all of these different opportunities. But it just feels so right. Like Hallmark's always been a part of my life, the brand, whether it be, my stocking hanger that I had on my mantle growing up that I still have now. Um, or, the cards that were given at birthdays or, special momentous life events. Hallmark's always been a part of people's celebrations. And so now, particularly with the line I have with Hallmark, the collection, I'm so excited that I will get to have a piece perhaps that might be a part of someone's celebration this year.
What's the biggest party planning tip that might have made its way into the Lacey Chabert collection?
Um, it's all about the details. That's definitely it. Because when we're planning a party, it's all about the details. It doesn't have to be expensive or lavish, but it's just attention to detail. Makes someone feel so special when, you have a color that's their favorite color, or you had their one favorite food, or a craft that was maybe something they can, obviously have an activity at the party, but also have a takeaway. Or you have something sentimental that reminds them of a good memory or a childhood moment. So that translates to the line with all about the details. There's beautiful, like glittered, scalloped edging on the gift bags. Some of the gift bags have velvet bows. There's nothing that was forgotten or overlooked. And I'm really proud of the line because it's whimsical. It has a throwback vintage feel to it while still managing to be modern and classic.
Yeah, I love anything throwback vintage. I just went through my grandmother's estate and pulled a lot of the old ornaments that she had
Wow.
because they mean so much. And
I
that's
understand.
exactly, yeah, creating
I think
memories.
the line will have that, it has that vintage feel to it. I will make sure that you get it because I think you'll like it. Of
Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah.
course.
Having family traditions, I think for all of us, especially in a crazy world, I think exactly what you're doing is hitting on a really sweet spot for a lot of people.
Thank you. That's what makes me feel rooted the most. I'm realizing, as I live and as I raise my daughter who's 8 now, like going back to those traditions, that whole nostalgia, that whole full circle feeling, it just reminds me of who I am. And I think a lot of people relate to that.
Have you fallen into any of the social media accounts that are like, this is what Christmas looked like in
Yes.
1995?
My entire algorithm is that. I don't know how it happened, but it is. And there's a few sites that I follow that are beautiful photos from like what the 90s felt like, or this year or that year. And it takes you back. And it's amazing what a photo or a song or a scent can do for your memory.
Yeah, there's something like nostalgia just hits you hard. It's like it's bittersweet. It's like so warm and cozy, and at the same
Totally.
time, you're like, I miss it.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way.
Well, I know you're moving into Halloween. I'm very excited about this. All about the Halloween.
Thank you.
How does the Halloween backdrop shape sort of that heartwarming story differently than maybe Christmas does? Because the HOA at Evergreen Lane is so busy.
The HOA is like nothing else, right? I mean, they love Christmas more than anything. So when I first heard that the movie was going to be based on Halloween, I was like, "Oh my gosh, how are we managing that pivot?" And it's so well executed. It is so much fun. This movie is so funny. And there's a really heartfelt storyline. And then there's also a really romantic storyline because we get to also see Emily and Jared get married and we get to see them be newlyweds and see what this new chapter of their life is like. But reuniting with this cast was one of the most special experiences of my career, honestly, because they're just such a special group of people. And we never thought we'd have a chance to do more than the one movie. And because of the fans, because people tune in, we've had the chance to do it. So thank you. And I hope this isn't the end. I hope that it's Hollow Out the Easter or whatever we come up with because
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. I know there's a lot of holidays on the calendar. So I think we could keep thinking of stories.
Yeah, Evergreen Lane, they are untapped on like St. Patty's Day. I'm not just thinking.
It's so true.
And I'm also thrilled to see that you and Andrew Walker will be reuniting for this holiday season. She's making a list. I know fans love your chemistry together. How has your working relationship really evolved over time?
Well, it felt like I was just going to work with an old friend now. The first time we worked together, he was amazing. It was a wonderful experience, but we didn't know each other as well. And my daughter was also a little baby at the time. So it was a totally different phase of life. And now, our kids are around the same age. I love his wife. She's so wonderful. And he's become a dear friend. So it was like just showing up to work and hanging out with your friend. And, it creates such a like safe environment where you feel like, let's try this with this scene or tell me the truth. Did that work? Did it not? And you know that you have someone that's going to level with you and be real. And he was great. This movie is so much fun. I play an auditor for Santa's Naughty or Nice list. So it's a very magical world, very poignant, very funny. I loved it.
I kind of love that there's an auditor.
Yeah, it's serious business.
Yeah, it is serious business. There's probably a lot of people getting crossed off. I'm so curious too, with you starting the Lacey Chabert collection. and we talked about tradition and things like that, but I'm curious, is everything going to be interactively shoppable? Like if I'm watching your Christmas movie, is something going to make it from the Lacey Chabert collection, then I can like click? Yeah.
No, no, I'm not saying that won't maybe be the future, but for now, no. Obviously, I'll be, talking all about it on social media, and I'm so excited to finally get to share the pieces with everyone. But we don't have any of the collection in the Christmas movie, but we did feature it in one of our celebrations.
Yeah.
So our audience will have a chance to see a few of the pieces on the show, and then it'll be, at Hallmark stores.
Was there any particular challenge in creating your collection that you just didn't anticipate?
Um, No. I mean, I think the biggest challenge was having to pare down things and having to eliminate certain pieces or colors because I loved all of it so much. Whenever you're designing something, especially with this Hallmark team who is just so good at what they do, I felt like they jumped right into my brain and knew exactly what I loved. And they pulled a lot of it from the archives from the 1950s. So I actually got to go visit the Hallmark archives, which was such a special experience. And many of the designs were from 1957, which was just so perfectly fitting because that's the year my mom was born. And my reason for my love of vintage stuff is because that's something that was passed down from my mom. And, my love of entertaining was definitely from my mom and grandmother. So it just felt very full circle.
That's incredible. I love that. It's just like it was all meant to be. It was all meant to happen
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah.
Finally, in just talking about celebrations season two, if you could describe it as an emoji, which one would you pick?
Oh no. Only one?
I'll give you three if you want.
Okay. So the confetti one, for
Mhm.
sure. The crying face, for sure.
Yep.
And heart.
Perfectly. Perfectly summed up, Lacey. You did
Thank you.
it. Congratulations. I'm really excited. Just with everything that you're working on moving forward, I'm like, it just hits right at the heart. I love it.
I'm so glad. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it.
Of course, good to see you.
You too. Take care. See
Bye
you
bye.
again soon. Bye.